So the Battle of France is over, and the Battle of Britain is about to begin, as Winston Churchill once famously said. So Germany are now basically in control of most of Western Europe and parts of Eastern Europe too. And now they move on to attack Britain. So Hitler calls this Operation Sea Lion. It's his attempt, or it's his desire to invade Britain, and he calls the Operation Sea Lion. Before he can mount that invasion, however, the German Air Force, or the Luftwaffe, aim to destroy the British RAF before landing troops on the coast of Britain. In July 1940, the German Luftwaffe attacked Britain with 1,400 aeroplanes. Britain have got just 600 aircraft available for the defence of Britain. So there's a number of reasons why Britain were able to prevail in this conflict. Number one is radar. And radar is a new invention in the 1930s which relies on radio waves. Those radio waves are sent out from radar stations and they pick up any solid material coming through the air, so things like aeroplanes. That means that the RAF can see where the enemy planes are going, and it means that the German numerical advantage is essentially negated because the British can send their planes exactly where they're needed. They don't have to be scouting around looking for German planes. The radar will tell them exactly where they are. Britain also had a strong leader. In my last video I told you about how Neville Chamberlain had resigned and was replaced by Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill certainly boosted morale. He made famous speeches such as this: "We shall fight them on the beaches, we shall never surrender." It's significantly longer than that in its entirety, but nonetheless the speeches that he makes to the British people does boost their morale, and it means that the country come together, not least the RAF pilots who are fighting in the Battle of Britain. British planes, another reason why the British were able to win the Battle of Britain is because the RAF had an edge over the Germans with their new fighter planes. They possessed two things, the Spitfire and the Hurricane, both of which were more than a match for the enemy planes, namely the Messerschmitt 109. British productivity was another reason. Factories and industries carried on producing war materials despite German bombing, and Britain were able to produce 563 new planes each month, which was just enough to counter the losses that were being inflicted upon them by the Luftwaffe. British pilots. Pilots would fly many sorties every day. A sortie is any time when a pilot will get in a plane and fly out to go and defend the shores of Britain, or indeed on any kind of mission. And pilots would take very short breaks. It is said that during the Battle of Britain, British RAF pilots would spend as little as half an hour on the ground between flights, when ordinarily during a normal circumstance they would spend anything up to a day, 2 days between flying out. So finally, on the 15th of September, the Luftwaffe are defeated. They've tried and tried and tried, and they've attacked many times, but the British RAF have just been able to outfight them, and Germany call off their attack on Britain, and they turn their attention instead to the Russians.